Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to be going through my 2025 Scoops AFL Draft Power Rankings video. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're a regular but you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Smash the like button. We'll aim for at least 20 likes for this video and share the content around. I would really appreciate it. Now in today's video, as I said, I'm going through my draft power rankings for the AFL men's. That draft is in a few weeks' time, about 3 weeks' time to be precise. It will be over 2 nights in late November. So no better time to do a draft power ranking. I'll do a phantom draft for the men's and women's drafts within a week of their draft starting, maybe 2 weeks. This is my draft power rankings for the men's. So a bit similar to the women's one, I'm going to do my best 22. And then mention other names in the conversation. Now, I feel like very similar to the women's one I've done. These are 22 names that I think will be drafted. Others in the conversation will be drafted too, but have a bit of questions whether they definitely will. Albeit some will. But again, it's like a ranking of who I think is the best of the best. So, yeah. We will go from there. And, yeah. All right. So, at number 1, the best player in this year's draft for the AFL in 2025 for me is none other than a name that is very familiar to a lot of people. It's Willem Dersma. Now, Willem is an exciting machine that can play up forward, can push around the ground, is athletic, can jump, he's got a good leap on him, got a good distance kick on him, cannot just play forward. He can play through the midfield, and he can move around the ground really well. I mean, obviously his sister Yaz playing for Carlton in the AFLW. His brothers Zave at Essendon and Zane at the Roos are doing very well for themselves at their respective clubs. I expect Willem to go pick 1, whether that's through bids and everything like that, to the West Coast Eagles. I expect West Coast to retain pick 1 and 2. If they get rid of 2, I still expect Willem Dersma to be their first choice. And he can go partner up with Harley Reid and everyone in the Eagles midfield and forward group. I think he'll add a lot to the Eagles. But this is not a phantom draft. So the best player in this year's draft for me is Willem Dersma. And number 2, Zeke Euland. Now, the last name sounds familiar because it's true. Zeke Euland is the brother of Bodie Euland from the Suns, part of their academy. You can hear a lot of academy names mentioned here. Zeke is different to his brother Bodie, who is a defender. Zeke can play all around the ground, play midfield, be damaging, played for the AFL Academy side. Had some injuries throughout the year, but overall he's had a really consistent season or career to date. Zeke will be a very good player in his own right, play much different to his brother Bodie, and he'll be the first Academy player bidded on. Now, this, I wouldn't say it's controversial, but a bit of a draft bolter. Bolter in terms of people think he's top 10, but probably the back end of the top 10, but I think he's part of the top 3. My third best player for this year's draft is SA's star midfielder, Dyson Sharp, a leader, just does everything well in the midfield. He just so well, gets a lot of the ball, clearances, good by foot. I just really rate the skills of Dyson Sharp. I think he's a really good player. And whoever can acquire Dyson Sharp, maybe Essendon and the Melbourne Football Club with their back-to-back selections, may look at him. West Coast might be a small chance to look at him at pick 1 and 2 if they keep the 2 picks. But I really rate Dyson Sharp. I think he's a really good midfielder, a leader for SA, the best player out of SA, and one of the best players in this year's draft for me. The first pure tall player is Cooper Duff Tyler from Victoria, can play as a ruck, as a key forward. There's talk that West Coast might look at him with 1 and 2 with Willem Dersma and partner them up together. But, look, I think he'll be a good selection here around this range. First key forward, pure key forward in the draft with height around 200 centimetres. So I think he'll be a good option around that range. Number 5, the midfielder, Another academy player, it's Dan Annable. You know, Brisbane have got so much success in their midfield with academies. Their father's sons, Levi Ashcroft, Will Ashcroft, Jasper Fletcher, and the list goes on and on and on. You can add Dan Annable to the list. This will be around the range people think he'll be bidded on. Personally, I was this close to putting him at number 4 and even number 3. That's how highly I rate Dan Annable, the Brisbane Lions Academy midfielder. Just a leader as well, and just does really well. Consistent performer, you know we're going to get from Dan Annable, and a future premiership player with Brisbane if they win premierships. Telling you that right now. The academies continue. At number 6, I have Dylan Patterson from the Gold Coast Suns Academy. This is an academy, heavily filled academy draft, really. The first round, maybe 28 picks. Dylan Patterson, a good midfielder, really skillful, really quick, can kick the ball really well. I think he was a left foot off the top of my head. He just does really well, and Gold Coast get another star player for back-end picks. Another one, like Zeke Yuland as well. Number 7, this name is very familiar in cricket circles. Another SA player, tall forward, Mitch Marsh. No, not the Bison, Mitch Marsh from the cricket team. The footballer, Mitch Marsh, the footballer, funnily enough, had some choices to make. He stayed with footy. He's had really good year this year. Shot up the draft rankings this year in particular. A standout for SA, playing in the state championships, done really well. A guy that will impress whoever he goes to. And number 8, this last name also should be familiar. Now, if one of my favourite players sounds familiar, that was Mateus Filippo. Well, think of his brother Javan Filippo at number 8 for me. Now, this may seem a little bit early. I'm not saying he'll be a top 10 selection at the end of the day. I rate him, though, as the 8th best player in my power rankings. Javan had some injuries this year at the start of the year, which didn't help him from playing, stopped him from playing. Came back and played for Woodville West Torrens and just absolutely dominating the SANFL. It's another SA player in this top 10 for me. You know, when it's full of academy players for Brisbane and Gold Coast, SA are lighting it up here as well. I think he'll be a really good acquisition for wherever he goes. I would love to see Javan be at the Saints. The Saints don't have a pick to the 50s, so that won't be happening, unfortunately. But unless they trade back in, never know. Might trade out a future first. If there's someone they like around that range, you never know. Just never say never, they say. But Javan, a really good kick. More of a forward than what Mateus is. But, you know, strong presence, left footer as well, like Mateus. Can kick on both feet as well, which is something that stands out for him for me. And really efficient with both feet. I remember when I interviewed him earlier this year, watching the highlights package of his standout games, I'm saying, hang on, that's on the left. Hang on, that's on the right. Shit, is that the same guy? It is the same guy. You know, that just shows how highly talented the Mateus or the Filippo family are. Like Mateus is very talented, and his brother Javan is another one to watch out for in this year's draft. All aboard the Filippo train. Then, now, forever, together, forever. Then, now, forever, together, forever. Number 9, all hail the king. No, again, this ain't the Saint Max King. This is the Swans Academy. Tall forward, Max King at number 9. Just really stands out for me. I know this is a bit early for him as well. You know, this is a power rankings for a reason. This is not where I'm saying the bid will come. It'll be around this range, might be around 15 to 20. But I rate Max King very highly. No, not because his name is Max King. No, not because he's a forward. No, not because he's got the same name as a Saints player. That's a crock of shit. I think he's a really good player. He stands out for the Allies in the state champs. Just a really good player. You know, Sydney are craving a good forward option, and Max King will provide that from their Swans Academy. Number 10, there's talk that this may be an earlier selection, and a father-son at Carlton, Harry Dean, a key defender, really shot up the draft rankings this year from probably a second rounder to potential top 10, potential top 5. Now they're talking. But Harry Dean at number 10. Number 11, I've gone Josh Lindsay. You know, Not related to Xavier Lindsay. Josh Lindsay is from the Geelong Falcons. Just plays really well. A good ball user. Someone that's around this range where he may slip a few spots down, but may go a few spots up. It's hard to gauge where his draft range is. I would say he's between 8 and 20, somewhere in between all that. But he'll be a great acquisition for whoever gets Josh Lindsay, a really elite ball user, and something clubs will love. Number 12, the draft bolter, according to some, Sullivan Roby from the Eastern Rangers. Loves kicking goals, plays midfield as well. Just does really well. And it's a shot up out of nowhere, dominating for the Eastern Rangers, and just having a really consistent season. Number 13, it's Ollie Greaves. Now, someone who last year really dominated as a bottom major, and this year, has continued some strong form for the Rangers. And I really rate Ollie Greaves because I think if I was to compare him to an AFL player who just got drafted, it would be Josh Smiley. Very similar size. They both play midfield, inside mid. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Josh Smiley play this year due to injuries and whatnot and conditioning he had through his injuries. But I compare him to Josh Smiley, Ollie Greaves. I rate him very highly. I think he'll be one that people are flying under the radar. He may go in the late 20s, early 20s as well, but I rate him higher than that, and I have him at number 13. Number 14, we love a goal celebration here on the Scoops channel. We love players that kick goals all the time and love getting around it when they get some goals, and it's Lockie Dobberson. And number 14, goal kicker, Eastern Rangers, played in their grand final this year, lit up Icon Park, lit up the big stage, loves the celebration. Jack Ginnivan type celebrator, and Watson from Hawthorn as well. Could you imagine him going to Hawthorn? Gee whiz. But yeah, he'd be a really good player, Lockie. Some say this may be a bit early, but again, it's not what other people think, it's what I think, and I think Lockie Dobberson will be a great selection for whoever is to acquire his services as a small forward. Number 15, Xavier Taylor for me. He's done a job on some players to the state champs like Mitch Marsh and everyone like that. So when you do a good job on potential top 10 draft picks, you automatically shoot yourself up the rating. From Victoria, just does a really good job. Reliable intercept defender and runner, does really well. Now, apologies if I pronounce this name wrong. Number 16, I have Sam Grlj. Grlj. I apologise, Sam. Sam is a midfielder from Victoria. Just, does a lot with it. Just does really, really well. Provides something that clubs will need. He's a really good player. And yeah, I just think he would provide a lot to a club that needs him. He's got a running game, which is good. He's a smooth mover. He's a speedster as well. 182 centimetre midfielder, clean, quick, silky, skilled player with a high damage factor. And X factor plays is what a lot of people want. So Sam can provide that. At number 17, the Shoe, Aiden Schubert, key forward from SA. One of the best key forwards in this year's draft crop. Another one from SA, like Mitch Marsh, in terms of key forwards. I think Aiden will be a guy that'll be around this range come draft night, maybe a late top 10 selection potential around the 10 range. Wouldn't shock me if he surpassed some of the names I've got above on this list. The Shoe is a good player. He's going to have a great future, kicking bags of goals in sample level in the state champs as well, on good key defenders. Just bodes well for his future. And I've Aiden Schubert at number 17. From WA, I think this is the first play from WA. Yes, it is. Number 18, Jacob Farrow, a midfielder. Does his job. Probably the first choice player in the midfield or from WA in general that he's drafted. Number 19 from South Australia, it's Sam Cumming. He is not related to Isaac Cumming from the Crows, but he's a guy as well that's kind of just, shot out of nowhere. I'll be honest, I haven't heard too much about him. Plays for North Adelaide's club. He's the vice captain of SA, though. Made his sample debut at 17. a powerful and competitive midfielder forward with a strong work rate. So I see after him having a strong season and debuting last year in the league side, he's been shot up the draft board. It'll be around that range. Now, this is where I start to go some bold calls or more bold calls. Number 20, the Saints NGA Academy young star Kai Fincher made his debut for Sandy in the VFL last round this year. Had like 26 touches against Richmond, a lot of clearances, Essendon, sorry. Like 26 disposals, like 8 clearances. And I knew he was a good midfielder already. And I saw that game and thought, oh shit, he's going to be a good player for us if we can get him through the Saints. Apparently his draft range might be around 30 to 50. But again, I rate him very highly, Kai Fincher. I just hope other clubs let him slide through later and don't be dogs. But Kai will be a great player for the Saints if he gets through to the Saints, and whoever was to acquire him, a good midfielder. Sandy Dragons, a very good player. Speaking of Sandy Dragons, that number 21, this one's a bolter for me. Well, not for me, because I think he's highly talented, and that is Jack Dalton. A midfielder that's won Sanderingham's best and fairest. Missed the start of the year, played 9 games, averaged like 27 to 30 disposals in those 9 games in the Coates Talent League. His last game, he played the last 3 for Vic Metro in the state championships, had like 1 goal, 28 disposals, 11 tackles, like 7 clearances and 7 score involvements. Like, that's standout. When you got a bunch of midfielders like Sam Grew and Josh Lindsay and, guys like Willem Dersma playing as well, with and against, if you're going to stack it up against those names, Mitch Marsh, Zeke Hewland, Cooper Duff Tyler, Dan Annable, Dylan Patterson, Javan Villappo, Max King, Harry Dean, Sullivan Roby, you're going to have a future in this competition. And Jack Dalton, I just think he could be anything. If I was to compare him, he's a powerful mid who kicks goals, and you love players that do that. Players that can kick goals and get a lot of the ball are a premium. I could see Jack Dalton, who so-called experts had around 30 to 45 range. I could easily see him be a top 20 selection at the back end. I think he's got what it takes to make it at AFL level. Before the awards he's won at that age, like I've said, is pretty damn impressive if you ask me. He's an extremely hard-running midfielder. As I said, missed the start of this year. It was a gym accident, which is why he got injuring and breaking both his wrists. He came back having 35 disposals in his first game back, and then the week after, they got 37 disposals and 2 goals, 2 in a best-on-ground display. He runs and runs and runs. And powerful midfielders that can run and kick goals, they are an absolute premium, and that's what you're going to get if you draft Jack Dalton. And a left footer. Clubs love their left footers, great work rate. And he was a standout as a 16-year-old winning the MVP honours for Vic Metro in 2023. They were the 16 national champs. There we go. Yeah, so averaged 27.9 disposals across the 9 Talent League games, as I said, and made Team of the Year despite missing like 5 games. So that's just a credit to Jack and the work he's done. He also won Sandy Dragons BNF and one of the best on ground in the grand final, lost to the Eastern Rangers. And for Vic Metro, as I said, done really well. And had the fastest 2K time trial with an elite 5 minutes and 53 seconds in the 2K time trial at the draft combine, the national draft combine. So I see Jack Dalton getting dropped 177 centimetres and a midfielder that can kick goals. They're a premium. And number 22 on my list here, the last one to mention in detail, is Bo Adensole from Gold Coast's Academy. He's a really skillful player. Another one that Gold Coast are just going to get for free. Play some VFL late, a midfielder, consistent ability to accumulate the ball, 182 centimetres, and potential first round draft selection as well. Good acquisition for the Suns. That's why you're seeing guys like Braden Fiorini, and they leave. Sam Flanders, Ben Ainsworth, because they know these guys are going to come in and either take their spot in the team or take their midfield minutes. So that's why the Suns got rid of a lot of good players in the current team, because they're coming in. Well, Zeke Hewland, Dylan Patterson, and Bo Adensole in particular. Now, other names in the conversation: Adam Swade from Essendon's Academy. He's another one to see where his draft range will be and where a bid will come. Archie Luduwaki, Noah Hibbins-Hargraves, Oscar Taylor, Blake Threadgold, Lockie Carmichael from the Swans Academy, Lewis Emmett, a tall from Victoria, Harley Barker from SA, Jack Ison, one of Carlton's Academy players, and Cameron Nahn from the SA crop again, a tall player who can really damage. So here is the list for you all to see. So at number 1, Willem Dersman. Number 2, Zeke Hewland. Number 3, Dyson Sharp. Number 4, Cooper Duff-Tytler. Number 5, Dan Annable. Number 6, Dylan Patterson. Number 7, Mitch Marsh. Number 8, Javan Filippo. Number 9, Max King. Number 10, Harry Dean. Number 11, Josh Lindsay. Number 12, Sullivan Roby. Number 13, Ollie Greaves. Number 14, Lockie Doverston. Number 15, Xavier Taylor. Number 16, Sam Gruge. Number 17, Aidan Schubert. Number 18, Jacob Farrow. Number 19, Sam Cumming. Number 20, Kai Fincher. Number 21, Jack Dalton. Number 22, Bo Adensole. And the other names in this range: Adam Swade, Archie Lodo Wook, Noah Hibbins-Hargraves, Oscar Taylor, Blake Threadgold, Lockie Carmichael, Lewis Emmett, Harley Barker, Jack Ison, Cameron Nahn, and the Duff Man, who I also interviewed from SA, who done a great job in the state champs as a key defender, a late inclusion, and just kept his opponent's goals in all 3 games. So never forget the Duff Man, who I had on the podcast a few months ago. Thank you all for watching this episode. Remember to share the video around. Obviously, there's other talented players I haven't mentioned because there's always a lot of talent going out there when the draft come around. There'll be other names that I didn't mention at all that will be drafted. To everyone with the draft in a few weeks' time, good luck. Hopefully your dreams get realised. And come on the Scoop channel and we'll have a chat and do an interview. If you want to come on and you're a player as a draft prospect and you're watching this, follow my Instagram page as well, AFL Info Live. Send me a message there on Insta and we'll sort out an interview. It'd be great to have you on. Thank you and good luck to everyone.